everybody. Welcome. Yes, indeed. Okay, good. Another episode of SandCity Sports. How's everybody doing on this Saturday evening? Let's go across the board. Get our socials in order. All right, you can stay. All right, you come on over here. My man G on Twitter. All right, Twitter is good. IG is good. Got to take a step back on the Facebook. Got to work out. Make sure we don't violate any intellectual properties vis-a-vis the Facebook. Hit me with the shadow ban, so got to get that straightened out. So we're not going to have the Facebook live stream for now. We're gonna get that in order. Of course, I look up, you do this, you do that. We got to get our lighting straightened out here. Get the lighting straightened out. But we're going across the board. If it's not this, it's that. If it's not that, it's the third. Hope you guys out there in television land are doing well. It's a beautiful thing. SandCity Sports by, for the fans. Let me get my volume right. Let me get my levels right. That's good. And, it's always going to be something. So I got to make sure the lighting is correct. And then we're going to blast off. Hope y'all are good. I'm constantly trying to improve, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, goodness. It's got to be plugged in. Oh, man. Didn't plug it in. Even longer delay. Apologies, folks. We're working through the technical difficulties here. All right. I got it. Here it is. And I'm back. Don't need the lint roller here. You can go. The lint roller can go. All right. If it's not one thing, it's another, folks. You got to get this straightened out, that straightened out. 3:47 into the, without further ado. Out there, welcome to the business. I'm your host, Interactive. I'm coming on as Andre. Thank you so much for tuning in to SandCity Sports. Back to the brain. We back again. And you know what it is with the introduction. Okay? Once is good, twice is nice. SandCity. Go. So now, right, we getting it rolling. We had issues with the lighting, okay, and then you know what I mean. I got the lint roll is good, but I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean. Had a good full day. Uh, Beautiful weather here on the Cape. Number of local events that went on. Amplify POC. That means Amplify People of Color. Had their summer festival. Tremendous. Okay, and just because it's talking about businesses led by people of color does not mean it's not about the entire community, bringing in businesses with people from all sectors of the community. And that was most certainly the case. So to amplify a POC summer festival was tremendous. Right in Hyannis on the Village Green. Uh, Music, food from all the different restaurants, just delicious. Arts, crafts, our community organizations that uh, represent the strength of our social contract, right, and our social safety nets that we have that we need. We're present. Um, Civic organizations, educational organizations. It was, you know, very well done, and a very good day for it on the Cape. Then after that, I went and I saw a Robin Williams tribute show. Roger Keebler was the comedian, that just had Robin Williams act. It was impressive. Robin Williams, important person for me, very near and dear, based on his tremendous role in Good Will Hunting and what he did there, but then also other roles. I mean, the list goes on and on. With Robin Williams, you could talk about Miss Doubtfire, more humorous, Patch Adams, more serious, so on and forth. So that was a great show. And then went down to the Fresh Catch, local seafood restaurant right on Main Street, and just lended a hand um, and watched most of the Argentina game. And then I came back. By the time I got back, they had already scored in overtime. Um, and they got the additional goal to make it 3-1. So a good day, good summer day on the Cape, right? You gotta, gotta count your blessings. So hope you guys out there in television land are doing good. Sand City, bye for the fans. We in the building right now. Jump in, got to do a good job, a better job, frankly. Let's see what's going on of making sure I'm just keeping track on all the socials. Okay. So people can jump in if they want. Twitter is good. IG is good. I know we're a little bit later on the East Coast, but this is when I have time, right? It has to go down when it goes down. So yeah. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling. Okay. So as I learned from Big Ben, right? We're gonna play the hits, not necessarily starting in the losers' locker room. It's one of the words of wisdom from Big Ben. But we're gonna play the hits. We're gonna start with the World Cup. Forthcoming, folks. Summer League, Young Lions. Okay. Actually, the basketball community is jumping hot right now. Not only do we have Summer League, but it's also the live period, the live recruiting period for our stars of tomorrow. So the EYBL Peach Jam is going on. Adidas Adidas circuit, Three Stripe circuits going on. Under Armour circuits going on. Okay, so the stars of tomorrow are building themselves up. Okay, earning it. Okay, strength versus strength, mono e mono, not just Summer League. We also have the stars of tomorrow, which we will discuss. So Summer League, Peterson balling, Debansa balling, Boozer balling, Wilson balling. Okay, the young. I know it's just Summer League, but we're getting a glimpse. And then the stars of tomorrow, Marcus Spears, his son, committing to Texas. It's a big deal. And then we're going to do a little bit of throwback stuff with that. As we get the art lined up here. I mean, there's so much to choose from. This is a part of just because there is so much to choose from. I gotta make sure that I get the correct, right? Slide, but that's coming up in a second. I'm going to play the hits starting. All right. So the production issues persist. We're going to start with the World Cup, and I have my slide ready to go. And the next thing you know, I say up. This says down. It's fine. I'm going to find it. I have a couple slides that are misplaced. So that's what was throwing me off. A couple things are there when they're supposed to be here. All right, so that's the issue. I reorganized some things, and all right. Okay. Apologies in advance, folks. The lineup stays the same. I got to scroll a little bit differently, but we're starting World Cup. All right. This is also indicative of, right? You get a little bit older, you do something, and then you forgot that you did what you had previously done, and you go ahead and duplicate. Right? Does that happen to anybody out there? Or is it just me? It might just be me. Okay, getting warmer here. All right. So we've located the first slide at long last, and I do appreciate your patience in this process, folks. Okay, so the World Cup. The World Cup. And yet here's the quarterfinals right here. Norway, England, 1-2. Belgium, France, 3-4. Switzerland, Spain, 5-6. Morocco, 7. And then, the one country from the Americas, clearly Argentina, right? Now, does this mean that we're talking about conspiracy or collusion or anything? No. This means this is just how the cookie happened to crumble, right? And then we get into the final four. And what do we have but the top 4 teams in the global rankings, right? Okay, Spain, France, Argentina, England. Again, I'm not insinuating any particular agenda. I've been enjoying markedly the World Cup, the framework is tremendous. Having it in the Americas, having it across the country, right? So even if it's a large city, like a New York, no, spread it out. Okay, we got New York City, largest, over 10 million people. Los Angeles, second largest. Chicago, third largest. Houston, no, right? Theoretically, you could host the entire tournament in one city. Okay, the World Cup, the Olympics is held in one city. And the surrounding areas, you could do that. But I appreciate the fact that, no, we got games in Boston. We got games in the ATL. We got games in Kansas City. We got games in Dallas. Got games in, the Golden State, the Bay Area, SoCal, right? that resonates with me. So everybody is getting their piece of the pie. Okay, you got games in, Vancouver. You have games in Toronto. Games in Mexico City. Wonderful. Okay, love the format. The patriotism of the different nations, and then the cross-cultural exchange. On top of that, pride in your nation, pride in the international community has been marvelous, right? Really impressed with the sportsmanship in soccer. Even after penalties, helping the other guy up. It gets ants, it gets tense, and then all right, in a true, genuine sportsmanship, that's been impressive. And I think something that has been learned and ingrained because of the international nature of the game. European championships, the championships in Latin America. Oh, goodness, what the heck is going on? Hold on, folks. See, I don't like bad news, but it's a shooting at a tournament in Harlem. And a player that played overseas passed away. Again, I know we're talking about the World Cup, and we'll take a look at this story since I mentioned it. And right, but incredibly, let's get the information here. All right, so let's come back to the World Cup. Well, get to the difficult, tragic news. But again, the positive, right, is the international community has come together in word and deed, and put on this tremendous tournament. And so again, I'm referencing, in the other end of the spectrum that we see in sports, where people, you got a summer league game in Harlem, known for, just basketball, innovation, and artistry. You got a summer league game, and people can't handle themselves, and violence erupts. Talking about somebody losing their life, on account of a summer league game, right? So that's the depths and the darkness that sports can bring us to. Okay, and that needs to be referenced in order for the appreciation for what the World Cup has been, and we hope continues to be. How it can unite, how it can enlighten, how it can uplift. Okay. As great as it is to see the shots when a goal is scored and how people erupt and they go back to the home countries and it's pandemonium and celebration. Pat Riley, there's only two things in sports. There's winning and then there's misery. So as euphoric as one side is, okay, the other proud nation state, so I let people know, check in with folks, is in the doldrums, the valley. Okay, and those two things happening side by side. Right? So we'll take a look at the first matchup. England v. Norway. Man, we had to lose a superstar. This is this dude from Norway, Erling Haaland and Harry Kane, two of the bright stars in the game. Right? You gotta put respect on, each of these competitors' names. In the Sam Hill. Okay, now I see where we are. We're in the 200s with the slides. Okay, just point of reference I got these different slides. But there's two things, folks. There's winning and misery. Okay? And so the folks in Argentina are euphoric. Folks in Switzerland, right? Try to think of the word. Grieving is a little too strong for a sporting match. I'm not going to go to the extent of saying grieving, right? Because that's what happens, when there's, okay, significant loss. So a sports loss is not, it's important, but it's not significant, right? A significant loss is, okay, when you lose a friend or family. That's when you grieve. So I don't believe that word is in order, even for a World Cup match. Now, for World Cup once every 4 years, I understand, okay, but you are, I think the word that I'm going to use is sorrowful. Sorrow. You feel sorrow. Okay, a step before grieving. But it's a deep sadness, a concerted sadness. Okay, there's only one champion. We understand this, but each country, is vying for that World Cup championship, and as we've seen, the margins are not so large. Switzerland holds on for 10 more minutes. They go into PKs. That power play that Argentina had evaporates. We've seen penalty kicks. Who knows? Paraguay takes down Germany. PKs. Right? I forget the match after that where an underdog won in penalty kicks. Or did the favorite come back in PKs? I know Germany missed 3 PKs, and in the subsequent match, another team missed 3 PKs. So, best players on the world, essentially a free throw. Make it or miss it. Don't know. So, Erling Haaland, this guy over here. Yeah. Dude's a stud. He's out there getting it done. Physical specimen. Son of former player on the national team. His father, strong player, had a reputation. For success. Are we going to lose Erling? Or are we going to lose Mr. Harry Kane? One's got to go. You wish you could have Erling and Harry Kane and Mbappe, Messi, up-and-coming players on Spain. But it's not the way the cookie crumbles, folks. There's two things in sports. There's winning, there's misery. Right? Right? That speaks to what it is to be a champion. We have the LeBron, Michael Jordan conversation. We'll continue to have that conversation. It's important. Right? When you're talking about greatness. Okay. Who is in the stratosphere, but not for everybody. Surely. Okay, and when we discuss Michael Jeffrey Jordan and who he was, why he's widely considered to be the greatest basketball player of all time, right? You have to talk about the Patrick Ewings of the world. First ballot Hall of Famer. The Charles Barkleys of the world. First ballot Hall of Famer. You got to talk about the John Stocktons, Karl Malones. First ballot. Okay. The Gary Paytons, the Sean Kemps, who played during the Jordan era and received no championships. Okay. So when you're, again, Erling Haaland, I'm going to miss him in the tournament. Just like a number of other outstanding players. Germany, tons of world-renowned players. So on and forth. Colombia, balled out, loses in PKs. I mean, there's one champion. So the majority of these great players are going home empty-handed. Mbappe, Kane, Messi, great players in the Spanish team. Majority of those folks, empty-handed. And that's a beautiful thing, and that's a daunting thing, right? So the tournament lost Erling today. Now, again, I want to keep up with soccer. A lot of my buddies in the fantasy league are big soccer fans and follow it and know the teams and so on and forth. See who, Verizon's letting me know. Verizon's getting in touch with me, folks. Why are they doing this to Connor, man? There's some tomfoolery. Connor lost his UFC match. We'll get it for you on the screen in a second. Folks is wilding. You know what I mean? In terms of, man loses a match after being a champion through the years. And then, they can't wait for you to go down. Right? What's the first thing that happens when you go down? When you take a knee, right? They got the boots ready for you, folks. They got the boots ready for you in this doggy dog world. They can't wait. They can't wait to sock you. Okay, when you fall, right? It's one of the things I go back in terms of my upbringing, and you didn't always get that. You didn't know, what I mean? You didn't always get that shoulder to cry on, or that, how you doing? How's it going? At times I was offended. I was like, where's my soft seat to talk about, how I see the world? No, you ain't getting none of that. Ain't no soft seat for you. Do better. That's it. Get out. Go. Gonna pat you on the back. I ain't gonna, tell you how great you are. Do better. Get out of my face. Got that tough love. And I said, oh, man, this person, they're a jerk, and they can't, you know what I mean? They can't, you mumble and stuff like that. And then you get out there in the real world, folks. As I gotten older and gotten into society, and work different jobs in different organizations, that tough love means more, taught more, empowered me more, than some of the, more therapeutic times, which are important as well. They're important as well. But hey, that dog eat dog world, man. You go down, they ready. They ready. So the clown and Connor, he lost his match. So we'll get into that. But Erling, is done for the tournament, right? And that's it. That's what it is, folks. We're gonna, in Slice of Life, talk a little bit more, because I tell you, there's so much. It's IG. There's just so many clips of just interesting stuff, thought-provoking stuff. And so when we do get Slice of Life in the back end of the program, and we going, you know what I mean? I know it's late, but it's also the summertime, folks. So we going to the wheels fall off. I mean, that's what it is. We're gonna be moving and grooving, and I know we got solid programs coming up. Got the Bernie Fratto show coming up in an hour. Shout out to Bernie. We don't play or hate, we congratulate on SandCity. But as I said, long day, good day, beautiful day. So this is when I had the time to do my patch. So this is when I gotta cut loose. So it's one. Hey, we in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. Right. So this from the England Norway game. Right. Great player, great teams going home. Mano a mano. All comes down to who executes. Game of inches, whatever you want to utilize. It's just right. You do your absolute best. That's all that you can control. And when you're in these upper echelon, you know what I mean? You just do your absolute positive best. Hope that is good enough. But when you don't know, right? Folks can just, we just keep leveling up. That's society. That's the theory of competition. To get progressively better. And that's what we're seeing. But back to Erling and Norway. We're going to get to a clip in Slice of Life. These folks brought 600 pounds of food with them. They didn't bring 600 pounds of food across the narrow seas or the narrow straits. Shout out to Game of Thrones. They brought 600 pounds of food across the doggone Atlantic Ocean, folks. So while they're here, while they've been here for this tournament, they getting all the best and it is what it is. We get to this clip. Reason they is because, listen, hey, my country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Okay, proud American. Okay. Love my country. Fortunate. You know, what did Kareem say? I'm on the shoulders of giants. And that's huge for me. My life, markedly different than my mother's life, who graduated in the mid-70s. Markedly different than my grandfather's life, the late Herbie Derby, okay, who graduated in the 1940s from high school. Sticks with me to this day. My grandfather, son of the South, born in 1925, at the heart of the peak of the Great Depression. Not just the Great Depression, folks, but of the peak of the Jim Crow era. Okay, and for the non-history folks out there, the Jim Crow era is a time of legalized terrorism against the minority community, particularly the African American community in this country. Yes, the Jim Crow era. Talk about the Civil War, cataclysmic event in this nation's history. Then we talk about the Second Civil War. Okay, the war for civil rights, the application of the Constitution to all Americans. Yes. Again, folks, I'm more progressive. That's me. If you're more conservative and you have takes and opinions, jump on in. The water's warm. Okay, I said what I said. We can have a civil, enlightening, hopefully, conversation. That's something that is a foundation for the society, our democracy. Okay. Let's do it. Jump in. I said what I said. Okay. Again, coming to me, patriotic, giving you an understanding of my patriotism, the roots of it. It really turning point, fundamental, is my grandfather that I was fortunate to have in my life. I'm in my 40s now. My grandfather passed away in November 2024, at the age of 99. We're gonna get you Herbie Derby on the screen so you guys can appreciate Herbie Derby. Got a couple things we're gonna get on the screen, but for you to appreciate Herbie Derby. And I just I keep saying this. We're gonna get the situation in Harlem, tragedy that took place today. Pro basketball player played overseas in Europe, killed at a game in Harlem. We're gonna get that coming up. But we're talking about Herbie Derby right now. We're gonna come back to this slide, and I am gonna make my point about Erling. Right? Got to keep track of my slides. Okay. So we're in the twos. Hold on a second now. I think I brought a couple. I don't think I know. I brought a couple of these slides up. You know what I did? I just did, folks. I was in the twos. You know what I just did? I brought these slides up, and then I went the wrong direction. So the slides that I'm looking for are actually behind me. Hold up. Okay, so I didn't necessarily bring that slide up, so we're going to go all the way back down. I thought I did. I should have. And again, we're talking about my grandfather, Herbie Derby. All right, so what did I do with that slide? I had it. Now I'm going rapid fire. I might have put it with some of the other ones. So we'll start here. And it's a bit of poor production, but we're going to get it straightened out in a second. And then we're going to bring the conversation all the way back to Erling in terms of what I was talking about. But talk to you about my grandfather, Herbie Derby. We're going to get Herbie Derby on the screen. He's here. Okay. So I had some art. I'm going to have to go back to... Right? So, right? I got it for you now, folks. We're going to get the... right? So, that's Herbie Derby. Okay? In his day. Right? That's prime Herbie Derby. Am I telling you now? This is right because he's born in 1925. So you see, he's in his prime. You know, early 20s. I believe this would have to be after he came back from World War II. Right? These are my great aunts, the twins, Catherine and Carol. My grandmother's sisters. Okay, there's 7 on my grandmother's side, 12, 6 boys, 6 girls on my grandfather's side. Again, when I say I'm Cape Verdean, right? This is the first generation. So these are my great aunts, older than my grandmother. This is so on my grandmother's side, it's Bobby. Bobby was a girl, oldest. Joe, my cousin Tim, who does a lot, who makes all my shirts. That's his dad. Joe, Bobby, Joe, Catherine, Carol, the twins. Harry, Uncle Harry, who my then Marie, who's my grandmother, and then Doris, the youngest. Doris, we're still so fortunate to have Aunt Doris still with us, 95. So fortunate. Then let me see if I can remember the boys, because 6 boys, 6 girls. Ludi, my grandfather's oldest brother. I have the picture of him on his wedding day. Ludi's in that. Ludi, Arthur, my Uncle Arthur. I used to go over Uncle Arthur, Aunt Martha. I used to get my syrup sandwiches when I was a young warthog. Ludi, Arthur, Walter. Ludi, Arthur, Walter. I got him. I got all 6 now. Sam. Sam passed away from tuberculosis. Herbie would go up, right? Ludi was the first to come north for the warmth of other sons, right? Ludi came first. Arthur, second. Walter, third. Believe I'm getting this right. Have to ask my mom, but I'm almost positive. Ludi, Arthur, Walter. Herbie came next. I think Herbie is older than Sam. Ludi, Walter, Ludi Arthur Walter Herbie. Ludi Arthur Walter. That's 3. Herbie makes 4. Sam, who had tuberculosis. Herbie would go down all the way from, Summit, New Jersey. You might not know Summit, but you know Newark. You know Newark, the Brick City, right? You know Newark. So Summit is just right in that area. Would drive from Summit, or the greater Newark area, all the way down to Little Wissy, Georgia, which is a small town outside of Savannah. Pick up Sam because he needed medical attention, and then drive Sam all the way back up north to receive his medical attention. Right? And one of the things, I learned from my grandfather kind of resonates with me, and I think about it. In this time, you didn't have as many things, but you had people. Now we have more things, but we're not as connected. Okay? Right? We have more things, but we're not as connected. So that and I find that in my own, I got to do a better job. I got to reach out to people. You know what I mean? Might not be but I still got to reach out. You got to reach out. You got to stay in touch. You got to try to go and visit, stay connected, right? Okay. So yeah, folks, we're going to come back. I did make a point about Erling, who I'm missing in the tournament. We're going to get to Erling. We're going to get to Norway. We're going to get to patriotism. Again, I was talking about my patriotism, which, is rooted in the stories of my forefathers. My grandfather, Herbie Derby, who I was fortunate to have in my life for the majority of my life, died, November 2024. So it'll be 2 years this November. Talk to him every single day. Every single day. You see what we're doing here, Sand City. Buy for the fan. You see, we burn the midnight oil. This would be the time when I would talk to my grandfather. And I'm kind of having a company, right? We're kind of, and you guys are help. You guys have people, that you guys. Hey, what's going on, brother? Tuned in. I can send you the link if you like, bro. Thank you for tuning in. You know what it is. Brother's a girl dad, you know what I mean? He's raising up the next generation, so he's busy, can't always jump on, but I appreciate him checking in. But yeah, I talk to my grandfather every single day, and that's not even every day. Every day. And you don't, you know what I mean? How fortunate and blessed I've been in my life. I didn't get this, I didn't get that, I didn't get the third. I got a chance to talk to my grandfather. He used to call me champ. How you doing, champ? He said, hey, how you doing, champ? And that's a different relationship. And you know what I mean? But I had that support, that encouragement to do anything to just spread the wings, fly. I had that majority of my life. No, this is somebody, again, born in the Jim Crow South, legalized terrorism during the height of the Great Depression, 1925. He lost his father when he was 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, very young. Tells the story that, in the South, right, that time, Sunday, you get up, the women would get up, and they would go to church. Yeah, that's that foundation. That's what sustained the greatest generation, right? And generations of, right? Talk about Herbie, his grandfather is going back into slavery. And here I am, 100 some odd years later, middle class, privileged life. Right? Does it mean I live in utopia and I got, generational wealth? No, but I've had a good life, middle class, middle class. I'm in, now again, talk about the skyrocketing cost. Like I have challenges. There's challenge. I'm not saying I have not, but comparatively, By the way, folks, don't mind mentioning, right? This is the old picture, right? This house, Cape Cod. Did they have indoor plumbing? Folks, the house that I would end up visiting, my Aunt Doris's house, would visit when we lived in New York. Then I spent a ton of time there just growing up. Didn't know anybody. I'm from freaking Jersey. I was born in Jersey. I grew up in New York. I don't know any people in Cape Cod. So fortunate to have family, my cousins, right? My aunts, uncles. I didn't know anybody here. And I've been here now 30 some odd years because my family helped me to get on my feet. But this house here, folks, right? My aunt's house. It's amazing. That same house that she grew up in, it's still standing. It's been surrounded now. The whole arid neighborhood used to be a Cape Verdean neighborhood. It's just surrounded by, businesses, big businesses, huge car dealerships, car wash, and then there's a couple of the houses, like, literally. And I went over. I had to get the car wash. This is like in the winter. And I went back around past the house. It's I can't even believe it. Like there's like no buffer. Like there's the house, the driveway ends, and like there's the street is still the same length. And it used to be like the fence is right on the line. And then there's a light. They got the light. I mean, man. So times change, right? Again, when I was growing up, the house was there. There was a dealership or whatever, but there was just a little bit more space. I mean, they put the fence like on the property line. As soon as the line is, that's where the fence is. Light right on top of the fence. So I was like, how can you sleep? You got this light, and then it's a huge car dealership. So the fence goes all the way down. Yeah, indoor plumbing? No, folks. Indoor plumbing. I don't know what you're talking about. You use the outhouse, man. Indoor plumbing. House didn't have indoor plumbing until the 50s, 60s. My Aunt Doris had to move back to take care of my great-grandmother when she became ill. That's when they put indoor plumbing in. It's like the 60s or 70s. Right? My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing. So this is Herbie Derby in his day. In the day. Right? Okay. This is Thanksgiving. This restaurant is now, it used to be the Riverway. Now it's the Family Table Collaborative. So Herbie would come down for Thanksgiving. And this is this is my Uncle Donald. And this is my Aunt Doris, who's still with us. We lost Uncle Donald a couple years ago during the pandemic. Uncle Donald, but Aunt Doris is still with us. Right? So you see, World War II veteran. People used to come up to my grandfather. He'd just have that hat on, and people would just come up to him and shake his hand, talk to him. Right? I had a member of the greatest generation that I spoke to every single day. Encouraged me, supported me, gave me understanding, insight. Talked to my grandfather every single day from like when I was in middle school, like 13, you know what I mean? I would call him right now. Quick check-in. How you doing? Good? Everything good? Yeah, we good. Okay, talk to you tomorrow. Boop, boop, done. And if I don't call, I'm like, Herbie, no, ain't never too late, man. That's what he say to me. This man was in his 90s. He's like, ain't never, so hey, I mean, your boy, this is it's in the DNA, folks. I'm the same way, man. I'm up. Now I'm up late. The morning I'm gonna take a hit. I got to be up for service tomorrow morning, but I'm gonna take a hit in the morning. But it is what it is. I'll make it up. I'll get a power nap in. But if I wouldn't call, I'd be like, why you ain't, no, you better call, man. And I think that was a lot of his longevity. That was a lot of his longevity because that's how he was in the community in New Jersey. Even when he got sick at the very, very end, he was healthy up until the last year he got sick. But 98 years, this man was driving at 98. In the community, go to the, and wherever he went in the community, hey, Herbie, how you doing? What's going on? Like, just everybody knew him. Hey, they come to get that good word, that encouragement. And he just, people, how he lightened my day. He just lightened people's day in the day. He was the guy in the neighborhood. People, hey, and how's your brother doing? And your cousin and your grand, and the young people would come and talk to him. Everybody. And it was a big deal. You know what I mean? That's Herbie Derby. So it was reciprocal. I think that was a part of his longevity. He was an important man in his community, and you get older, right? You know what I mean? Our elders are treasures, man. They might have slowed down. It's hard not to slow down. You got to slow down. You know what I mean? But still, just to be in their presence, just to spend time, just to get that good word, just to get the perspective, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we talk about patriotism. Here's my patriotism right here. You know what I mean? The greatest generation. So when I go through my little go through and the different challenges, there's challenges you know what I mean? It's not, we all have our different challenges. Even if you have, even wealthy folks have challenge. Like, everybody has different challenges. But yeah, my challenges are not being born. And I have to, let me, because I didn't tell you. So Herbie Derby, I mentioned it, but so he lost his dad when he was 5 years old. I didn't finish that story, and then we'll get to Erling, because I want to make the point where this started about Holland. Touch on the Argentina game, and then we're going to go to Stars of Tomorrow. Talk about Summer League. Then we're going to talk about the preps, the young guys, Marcus Spears' son going to Texas. Then we got to talk about free agency, because there's still subliminals. The Boston situation is still, we got to discuss it. It's not a happy split, unfortunately. And then that might do it. We got a lot of slice of life. When we get to slice of life, that's when I'm going to show you the clip that this whole narrative has been about. But Herbie Derby, he's young, right? You want to talk about government matters. You want to talk about policy matters. You want to talk about all the pieces matter, folks. It does make a difference. These things matter. This is life and death. So the women would go to church, right? In the Deep South, the women would go to church, and the men would go into the woods to make that moonshine. Yeah. That corn whiskey. That's how it would go. Right? Deep South, you're working day in and day out, sun up to sundown. You want to get a perspective on this? Check out Uncle Shay Shay. We don't play or hate. We congratulate on Sand City. Talk about, Uncle Shannon tells about he grew up in rural Georgia on a farm. Okay? And that was the backdrop for the success of both himself and his brother Sterling. Listen up. Give you that perspective, right? So working. Sunday morning, the women go to service. The men go out into the woods to make that corn whiskey. So Herbie said, and so he's a kid. He's just watching this. And so he saw his dad come home, that he was out in the woods. He would probably have come back from church, and he put that corn whiskey under the house, right? Because the house is up on stilts. House is up, lifted, floods or whatever, underneath the houses. So he put the corn whiskey under the house, right? And then he went and did his work. So Herbie said he saw him do that. So Herbie's a kid. He's like 3, 4, 4, 5, 6 or whatever. So he went, and he said, okay, what they doing out there? He said he took a little sippity sip of the corn whiskey. He said that thing strangled him. He took a quick little baboop, but he said that thing strangled him. That corn whiskey. He said that the last time I fooled with that corn whiskey, that the last time I fooled with that corn whiskey. No, not again, not again. He said I wasn't going to fool with that again. So yeah, that's, the women went to church, the men went out to the woods. That was, that's when they could be themselves, right? People not calling them, kids not calling them boy. You're not being talked to, like a child when you're a grown man, a builder, carpenter, mason, right? Can do all these different things, right? Check out the book Ebony and Ivory. Ebony and Ivory. Talk about the building of America. Who built, right? You might have had the vision, but who's doing the labor? Okay. People of color. That's skilled labor. And so my great-grandfather, and I'm not connecting the two, but that's just a story. But so my great-grandfather, and this is not a one-to-one connection between the corn whiskey story, but he was driving, and got in a car accident. And the car, so he's driving, he's coming around a turn, and he fell out of the car, and the car fell on him, right? So he's driving the turn, and he falls out, and the car comes and falls on him, right? So he's seriously injured. They bring him back, and he's on the couch in their house. They could not take him to the hospital. The hospital would not admit Black patients. Black doctor comes over, he's doing, his spleen, I believe, internal organs were punctured or hurt badly. I think the closest hospital is 50 miles. Right. So he passed away. He died on the couch. They had the funeral right at the house. Right. So you're 5, 6 years old in the rural South during the Great Depression, and his mother, Ruby, I believe his mother's name was Ruby. I have to double check that. Remarried, so then, she remarried, but, they made it. His mother was a teacher. One school, one room schoolhouse. So, yeah. My first world problems, grand scheme of things, aren't real problems, right? Okay, what's the connection back to Erling Haaland, right? Their patriotism, folks. They brought 600 pounds. Shout out to Herbie Derby, greatest generation. Uncle Donald, Aunt Doris, greatest generation. Shout out, much love and respect. Okay, folks. This is 14. You got to remember where my slides are. Okay. which we will discuss on the back end of this show. The Norwegians brought 600 pounds of food over here. So their players are getting that authentic. Reason being, these food companies, folks, they can't do the things that they do in this country in Europe. Can't use the certain ingredients, can't use the additives, yada, yada, yada. The same multinational conglomerates, right? These titans, these companies. So they're doing business globally, more and more market share, yada, yada, yada. Okay? They treat the European food with more care because of the dictates than what's going on here. That's the reason they brought the 600 pounds of food. They was like, okay, y'all food, it's good, but we're not doing that additive. We're not doing that dye. Nope, we ain't doing it. No, you can, we're good. You sure you don't want? No. We'll bring our own stuff. They said they're gonna bring they. So, hey, shout out to Norway. Knockdown, drag out, battle royale. They went ahead and lose 2-1, but they balled out. I got people in the Twitch chat. Okay. Yeah, thanks for joining. People, yeah. Come through, folks. You know what this is. You know what this is. Just checking on the socials. You know what I mean? Let me just check the Twitter. Anybody? What's going on the Twitter? Yeah, I can. Twitter, we good? Twitter is good. All right. We got some of the Utes. LeBron Filon, a Peach Jam star, is balling for the 76ers. 24 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. I like that. All the players are over supporting the Utes. So that's what's up. Okay. Oh. All right. England advances. Norway down in the quarters. Again, folks, welcome. SandCity by 4. Got a couple people tuning in, checked in on the IG. I know it's late. And folks, a lot of the folks on the East Coast, I get it. Not everybody's in summer mode. Not everybody's in night owl mode. I get it. I understand. I certainly do. So this might be more for the folk on the left coast. It is what it is. As I said, very fortunate to have the opportunity to do this passion project. And these are my hours today. So this is when I'm getting down. I'm getting down for the DJ crown. All right, so let's discuss Argentina over the Argentines over Switzerland. Folks were jumping over at Fresh Catch while this game was on. We had some Switzerland fans in the building. Right? So let's get these folks on the screen. It's out there handling their BI, handling their business. One of the things we used to say in my younger years, you know what I mean? You got to handle your BI, handle your business. You know what I mean? Handle your business. All right, long story long with this game, folks. I had to go into PKs, man. Right? Argentina scored, you know, and hey, took that lead. Switzerland comes back. I mean, folks erupted to tie it up. So I'm like, hey, this is locked in. You know, I had it going the distance. Did not see the penalty that, you know, cost the gentleman, I guess it was his second yellow, which equals that red, which means you got to go. Obviously, that, you know, that was decisive. Okay. You know, so that's taken away now my scoring ability. Essentially, I gotta, you know, play defense and try to get this thing into to PKs. You know, I have to say I'm rocking with the officiating during this World Cup. Most notably, they're not fooling around with the floppery in the penalty box. That's been a notable improvement in terms of World Cups past. That you know, in the penalty box, there's some contact. You know, a guy, you know, with the flipping and the flopping and the triple somersault, all that stuff. Just connect with people, let them, you know what I mean? Folks that's up that might want to. But so tremendous job. I know we have had PKs, but nowhere near, from my recollection, the amount of penalty kicks of previous World Cups. Right? This is the highest level. One of the things that I say, you know, folks, this is big boy basketball. People want, you know, that we're doing a men's league game, a varsity game, big boy basketball. We're going to let that play start. We're going to let it develop. We're going to let it finish. Don't start crying about a penalty when the play starts. And, you know, you haven't even had the opportunity to play through said contact to get to the goal that you are striving for. Okay, whether it be a pass, whether it be a shot on net, whatever the case may be. Same thing in basketball. And you want the penalty around the 3-point. You want to block around the 3-point line as you're driving to the basket. Why don't you just continue your drive, finish at the rim, okay, and then we'll see. Right? So, officials, patient whistle, steady, letting the players decide these World Cup matches. I dig it. Like the play-ons that I'm seeing, right? Which is essentially, okay, you might have gotten bumped, but the play continues, so we're not going to call the bump over here if you retain possession and are advancing. No, we're good. That's okay. You got bumped, but you retain possession. The ball keeps moving. We're good. We're not going to stop a fast break. because of a nickel dimer over there that didn't affect the fast break. No, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it moving and grooving. We on the move. We running. Right. And so I rock with the officiating that I've seen. Now you have this pivotal red card, compilation of 2 yellow cards. Soccer people will have to provide some clarity and context on that. Right? Seen red cards before. American player got the red card. Americans were shorthanded. Went on to score and seal the deal. Okay? Balagoon. Right? So you can maintain or advance, go ahead with a red card. Again, in the quarterfinals, strength versus strength, had no issue with Switzerland adopting a defensive strategy, which I thought, and I'm not I was alone in this, was going to, allow them to weather the storm in extra time, get it to PKs, and then, we have a toss-up. All right. Alvarez, picture perfect goal. Not distinctly different, folks. Right? Not distinctly different than the tying goal in the Cape Verde game against Argentina. I mean, this is picture perfect. Right? This is picture perfect. Okay. So Alvarez, go ahead goal. Credit Switzerland with going down with the ship. Okay, so the last goal, I mean, that's a product. I mean, the goalie has to come up, similar to hockey. I mean, we're throwing everything, we going down swinging. Right? Did what they could. Could not get the equalizer. And another good team is heading home, and perennial power is moving on. Okay. Got a good light over there. I got a lot of that light over here might be a little. I might have to let me just adjust one of my lights real quick. It's doing a good job, but a little bit too much brightness. Let me just get it right. Just get it right. Better. We still got plenty. Yeah, we still got good light. Lighting is still good. Most definitely. Okay. So, pivotal call. Credit to Switzerland, holding it down through the adversity. And Alvarez, that was a work of art. That scoring goal. Right? And that was the difference. Argentina advances. They will face England, Spain, and France teeing off. And we got the top 4 teams standing. Coming down the home stretch. So it's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday, France and Spain. Wednesday, Argentina and England. So it's good stuff. How we doing out there? How's everybody in television land? Bit later on the East. What do we got? 12, 11. It's only 10. 10 going on 11 in the Western. So y'all got plenty of time for anybody in the Western that's tuned in. And I hope you are. And I hope you've had a good Saturday. Sand City Sports by for the fans. Passion project all day, every day. All right, folks, we're going to start with the positives. We're going to head over to the NBA. We're going to start with the positives. Okay, that's the stars of tomorrow, today, and what we're seeing. So the Utes, man. The Utes have been showing out. You know, they've been hooping. Okay, been hooping. Right? I can't deny it. I'm around riding. You don't wanna with me. Right? Think I got my thing with me. Hey. Man said, I can't deny it. So, folks, you know, the young boys, and yes, it's summer league, so they're not playing the cream of the crop, right? They're playing, you know, the Rudy Rudigers of the world, sure, but they're wet behind the ears as well, right? This is their first time stepping on an NBA court, rite of passage, summer league. You know, in terms of NBA, you know, the continual season, right? One season ends, we go to the draft, we go to summer league, and we start building up for the next season. Okay, something put in place under the capable leadership of the late great David Stern, right? Couple things. Mr. Peterson has gotten a fire lit underneath him at long last. Okay, that's first. All right, and is, as I get things organized here, let me get the setup straightened out. You know, my support for my back and everything. Okay, much better, much better. Wasn't organized, now it is. All right, so Mr. Peterson got a fire lit under his behind and is going out there and playing, frankly, like young Mr. DeBanza did for the entirety of the college season. Okay, the Darren Peterson that we've seen the first couple games in Summer League is Darren Peterson that we were looking for all college season when he was in too cool for school mode. All right, and the young man seemed to be of the opinion that he could be the hair and play a little bit here, chill, play a little bit there, chill, jog, sprint when he wanted to, beat this, and I'm not saying these other players were the tortoise, because we know Cam Boozer ain't no slouch. We know Caleb Wilson ain't no slouch. Young Mr. DeBanza out of Brockton, Massachusetts, City of Champions, no slouch. We ain't playing with slouches. Arguably one of the most talented draft classes in NBA history. After arguably one of the most talented NBA draft classes in NBA history. But Darren Peterson didn't have any eye of the tiger during the college basketball season. No, not at all. He didn't have no eye of the tiger. Okay? And turn it on when he pleased. And then, of course, going into the combine, now that the money's on the line, now I'm going to come out and put my best foot forward, and all of the metrics and so on and forth people can see. But that was late in the process, folks. Whereas young Mr. DeBanza has been a junkyard dog from day one. Cam Boozer from day one. Caleb Wilson from day one. They weren't pacing themselves. They were out to prove a point. Right? Folks might want to chime in. It is what it is. But young Peterson didn't hear his name called first in the NBA draft. No, he did not. And he felt he was that dude. And he seemed to feel that rather strongly. Seems to be of the opinion that there is a gap, which I don't believe exists, between he and these other dynamos. Wagler, Nikhil Brown, these young guys, A-Cuff, this class is loaded. But Peterson, he seems to feel that there's a gap between he and the rest. A lot of folks didn't believe that. There were some commentators and scouts, because they put his name in the same rarefied air as the Black Mamba. And not only did they do that in casual conversations that are taking place right now, because the basketball season is at a high point. As I've said, it's at a high point. We got Summer League going on right now, stars of literally next season. We got the grassroots. This is the live period, okay? So the stars of tomorrow are getting after it. This is a very exciting time. You have established stars like Marcus Spears' son, who I believe reclassified. I believe he was a junior. Now all of a sudden he reclassified, and he will be attending Texas next year. That's how I'm reading it. Okay. But his commitment is big news, going down to play for Sean Miller at Texas. But then, the AJ DeBanzas and the Darren Petersons of tomorrow, the freshmen and sophomores who we're going to be hearing about, are out there battling it out on the EYBL circuit. Shout out to Peach Jam. On the Adidas circuit. Shout out to the Three Stripes. And on the Under Armour circuit. Shout out to Chef Curry. They're battling it out right now. It's taking place right now, as in today. Okay, one more day of the live period. That's today. It's Sunday. It's not Sunday yet on the left coast, but it's Sunday on the East Coast. So, and then we take a couple days off, and then we start up next Thursday. And this is the last live period for this calendar year. Meaning, right? If you want your rankings as a rising freshman, rising sophomore, rising junior, rising senior, now's the time to earn it. That aside, you know what I mean? And that kind of goes into the framework of grassroots basketball and who has access and who doesn't. And we'll get to all of that. But it's an exciting time, folks. Never mind, in the professional, the league, The established stars, we got people hooking off on other people. We got people, subliminals for other people. So that, whatever happened to the happy home, right? What happened to the happy home, folks? Thought Mike Lowry, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? They didn't want to break up no happy home. What happened to it? So, on the right side, relative to young Peterson, hey, I can rock with this. He's speaking my language now. I'm not hearing no, I don't want to go here. I don't want to go there. I think I'm not hearing, I'm not sensing prima donna. I'm sensing a little bit of hunger from him. Like, I got something to prove. Like, y'all slept on the wrong one. Right? Does he have a ways, right? Is he turning the ball over? Yeah, he's got work to do. Fine. But in terms of his attitude, in terms of his MO, in terms of his motor, the decided question marks that I had, where I have no doubt in my mind relative to young Debansa about these things. Peterson is making some strides, okay? And if you put a Darren Peterson who's locked in, you put an Ace Bailey who's locked in, and their other young Lions, Clayton, they still have Laurie. Will Hardy can coach. All right, the Jazz can be what they can start to be competitive. And you could start to see, right, this young core. They don't have a unicorn like Wemby, right? But you could start to see, oh, we got a Darren, if Peterson wants to be an adult, if he wants to be grown, like an actual, not young, talented, and because I'm young and talented, therefore, in my mind, I'm grown, even though I haven't walked across the street and chewed gum. Okay? You don't know what you don't know. And you have, because you're, coming into you're not in your prime, but you're coming into your prime, right? You can start to feel, as I did, but I felt like I felt like I was grown, or I wanted to be considered. I wanted to be taken more seriously. Okay. All right. So fine. We'll take you seriously. Now pay these bills. Right. I didn't understand that part. You want to be taken seriously? All right. We'll take you seriously. Pay some bills. When I understood that more so, when I understood that, then I kind of backtracked and I'm saying, you know what I mean? I want to go back and I want to be a kid again. I want to be a kid again because these bills got me. Bills got me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Just come here. Bit late here. And but I got to do, as I said, that the Facebook, I'm working on it, folks. They've been and we're gonna get, I don't want to, but I don't want to it's important. I take my Facebook birthday seriously. We can kind of dive into that. We're gonna come back to the stars of tomorrow. But since I wouldn't have been able to do this, or I could have done it on my phone. But since we don't have the Facebook, I can, it's important for me, if we, and I know it's late on the East Coast, but this is when you're getting your birthday well wishes. If I can't say happy birthday to you, then why are we connected in social media? If I can't say happy birthday to you, then why are we connected in social media? That happened to me. Somebody wasn't super duper friendly, and I kind of read into it a little bit. I said hello to somebody. They didn't really say hello back. They didn't really reciprocate my energy. And you know what I mean? I'm from Jersey, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I say hello. What's good? You don't gotta like me, but if you say hello, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like we're not friends. Hello, what's good, man? How you doing? You good? All right. Well, then that's it. We're done. If we don't really vibe together, that's the end of the conversation. If you hey, what's good, man? What's good, man? Everything good? Your people's good? How you holding up? You all right? Okay. What's going on? Hey, man, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. I'm happy that's working out for you. Oh, something, you know what I mean? If I vibe with you, then I want to talk and I want to, hey, what's going on? Anything I can maybe, lend a hand with? You good? I'm happy that you're good. Keep it up. Establish, these goals you got. Maintain them. I want to hear good things. You know what I mean? If we're not really cool, hello, what's good, man? How you all right? All right. Then I'm going my way. We've been civil. We've been cordial. We're done. We're done. But if you say hello to me, then how you doing? I don't do that just walking off. That's not, again, I'm from Jersey, people. I gave you a little bit of the history, Herbie Derby. Okay. So it's tri-state. You know what I mean? Hello. What's good with you, man? Okay. We gonna at least have that. I don't do the whole, and that's like a thing in New England, just egging people, just ignoring them. I do think it's a part of New England culture, and it just rubs me the absolute wrong way. Like, it's deeply unsettling, dare I say offensive to me. If I say hello to somebody and you just breeze me, woo, bro, I mean, then, you know what I mean? Then you on that other type of time. I'm on that other type of time with you. So if that happened and then you said hello, so I said hello, you just give me, you know what I mean? That person give me the 1,000-mile stare and just keep it moving. Okay. And then it's funny when people, this is wild. I don't know if you've seen this out there in television land, but people break you off some disrespect, and then the next time they see you, they want to be super friendly. Do you experience that? You know what I mean? They break you off with disrespect intentionally first. And then the next time you cross paths, now they wanna, be friendly from the old school with you. It's like, what? And you know what I mean? Like, that they know the disrespect that they just recently did. You know that they know, except they haven't spoken to it or tried to put it in perspective in any way, shape, or form. But you come at me with disrespect, unnecessary disrespect, because I didn't do anything to you. I don't really know you like that. And if I did and you mentioned it, then I would apologize. Because I don't really know you do you know that you did? Oh, I did that. Hey, I didn't even know, my man. I didn't even, my bad on that. I won't do it again. We good. I don't know your pet peeves, peccadillos. I don't know, you know what I mean? So just bring it up if I did something. I don't know that I did something. Act like I did something intentionally, but I don't really know you. Right? But you gonna breeze me, you gonna ignore me, and then the next time you go, hey, what's up, my man? As if we go way back. Knowing you just did some shiesty stuff not a long, a short while ago. Crazy. But as I was saying, folks, for those type of individuals, like if you did breeze me and then you tried to be super friendly, then I'm gonna be, hey, what's going on, man? Okay, good. I'm out. I can give you I can reciprocate. I can say a quick 1 more 2 word, and then I'm gone. Gotta go. Phone call. Peace. All right. I matched your energy up front. No, I'm not gonna go into this. We go way back. You know what I mean? Because you're on some different type of stuff. Because you was just disrespectful. You didn't address the disrespect. You didn't come to me like, an adult and say, hey, man, listen, my bad, that happened before. I know I gave you some bad energy and some, this is what I was going through. If you come, then I'm, hey, man, all good. I appreciate you let me know. We're good. We're solid again. I appreciate that. I'm receptive. You're going through your go through. I hope you get through your go through. We're good. Good luck. Peace. Okay, if you had some accountability and came back like that, but come with some disrespect, and the next thing you'd be, hey, oh, hey, like we in an OPP video. Please, like we naughty by nature over here. Stop it. I'm giving you, oh, good, yeah, and then I'm going. But anyway, folks, so the connection I had to, you know what I mean, since the Facebook, they've been saying that I don't know what I've been doing, but Facebook wasn't playing, man. They said, I don't care if you know or you don't know. They came and snatched all my accounts recently, man. All of them. And this was a SandCity, that's one, I operate a number of different pages, keep them updated, yada, yada, yada. One of which is SandCity's. Facebook took everything, my regular, like my account, Andre Kane. As you can see, that's me. They snatched that and every other subsidiary, if that's even the right word. They was like, you getting. And that episode, I didn't play nothing. There was no music. I was like, what did I violate? Was it the pictures? I don't even know. Somebody, please let me know. So yeah, the connecting point is, right? So my Facebook, like my actual Facebook is still up, in case anybody, right, get an update, and the good stuff that's going on, yada, yada, yada. And I got a good update, Calm Fire, 100 years of dedicated service. Happy to see that. Looks like in Osterville. No, it's not Osterville. It's Centerville. Centerville, 100 years of service. Very cool. So, just the local fire station had a nice event. I try to be at some of these events myself, but I'm glad our local leaders were there, and it's good. But just a quick, and we get back to the preps. So that happened to me. Somebody breezed me, right? And then I saw it was their birthday, and I was like, forget them. I ain't saying happy birthday. This person doesn't want to, you know what I mean? Want to treat me some type of a way, right? And I felt some type of a way about them. And then a couple months went by, and that person came out and posted. They was like, listen, I just want to let you guys know that I've been going through some difficult times. And if there's anybody that I offended, they came out with some honesty and accountability and some vulnerability and that some courage. And they just broke it down. I've been going through my go through, and I might have offended certain people in that time. If I did, I apologize. It was unintended. I was dealing with ABC XYZ. I'm on a better path right now. Thank you for those that have supported me. And I just wanted to make this clear. Like they came, it was, I rock with it. How they, addressed the situation. And then I felt a little bit of guilt because when they was on the other way, I was like, miss me, man. You know what I mean? I had some under my breath words about them. I mean, I ain't got no time, But then I felt a different way about that because I was like, man, I didn't even know they, even though they was disrespectful in a certain extent to me, I was like, I didn't know that, they was in a go through. That doesn't, just because you're in a go through doesn't give you the right to be disrespectful, right? Because we're all going through different things every single day, and we conduct ourselves to the best of our ability with manners, with respect, with dignity, with consideration, with appreciate. People are going through stuff you can't even imagine and conduct themselves with class. Okay, that's not an excuse, and then the people that aren't really even going through some of the stuff that the heavy stuff that others are going through, you can't, be somebody with manners. So after that, I said to myself, you know what I mean? If we're gonna be friends on Facebook, then I'm saying happy birthday to you. If I can't say happy birthday to you, we don't need to be friends on Facebook. And I'm not saying everybody, right? People interact on Facebook. Some people don't go on that much. Some people aren't big birthday people. Everybody has their different way of doing it. I'm not saying you have to say happy birthday to all your friends, and if you don't, then you're some type of, you know what I mean, less than accountable friend. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for me, this is the conclusion that I came to after this incident, that if I'm your friend, I got to say, I'm saying happy birthday. And at a minimum, I'm glad, say happy birthday to you. Nice to be connected, in social media world. I wish you the best. That's the price of admission for me. So that's what I do. And now, since the Facebook is down for now, I want to get it back. I got to go on and check and make it sure that, because I got, friends. Some people are on IG, some people on Twitter, some people on Facebook. So I want to make it accessible to everybody where they're at. Right? So I want to get Facebook back with us. Okay, but these are two of the young lions that's been showing well. The rooks. AJ is who we thought he was: hungry, confident, committed. And he's got the motor. He's got the skills, and he's got the motor. And we're starting to see some of that motor from Peterson, which, hey, again, had he been that way from day one, I would look at him. There would be a different conversation. Never mind me. It'd be a different conversation. Right? But he decided to wait. Okay, he decided to wait. And so, hey, he would have, could have, should have been one. If it's in butts of candy and nuts, he went second. He feels some type of a way, and so he's out there to prove a point. Love to see it. Keep it up. Let the Rookie of the Year marathon begin. I'm here for it. Speaking of which, not to be outdone, the number 3 pick, Cam Boozer, okay, who's wise beyond his years, Carlos's son. You can just see, right? So Cam, as advertised, number 3 pick, Caleb Wilson, number 4 pick, Caleb Wilson, 35 points, right? But set a record. 35 points, most points in a summer league debut. Right? Okay, the young lions out here just they are living up to the expectations is what they're doing. They're not taking nothing for granted. All right, and we start with Cam, son of an NBA player, right? This connects to the conversation that we're going to have next about the rise of tomorrow, folks. Okay? He doesn't have a... All right, we got a new recording device, new recording track set up. That's good. It's good. Cam Boozer, he's got a chip on his shoulder. As in the chip of great expectations, folks. Son of an NBA player. Okay, he doesn't walk around as if the game owes him something. As a matter of fact, in terms of his development, I don't mind telling folks, he did not reclassify. He did 4 years of high school along with his brother. No reclassification. And by the way, on the EYBL circuit, they did not play up, even though they could have easily played up. When they were 15, they played with the 15-year-olds. When he was 16, he played with the 16-year-olds. When he was 17, he played with the 17-year-olds. He did not play up. And by the way, another player who followed this model, who did end up reclassifying, was Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg did not play U17 when he played U16 with his brother Ace. Okay. And battled it out against the Boozer brothers. Right, they're the same age. Okay. So the point of fact with that is he had some privilege, but took that privilege as responsibility. And then also, within that responsibility, learn patience. It doesn't all have to happen right now. You have the right to your childhood. I think something that gets lost in grassroots sports. Kids have the right to be children, to be kids. Just because you have an adult body, because you are a man child, does not negate the fact that, right? Because you are a man child does not negate the fact that you are a child. Right? Physically, you have adult features. Mentally, and I don't mind reminding folks that boys and girls mature differently. I don't mind reminding folks that cognitively, boys trail behind girls in their cognitive development. Yes, they catch up, okay, and can surpass. But cognitively, the young boys growing into young men, right, need time. It's boys to men, not men to senior citizens. Right? And so Cam didn't skip steps. And he's not going to skip steps. And he's certainly on his way. And Caleb, right? So I'm glad, and I'm not going to take the shine away from these players that have earned it. Okay? With other players who have not been consistent. I'm simply going to note that I, for one, and I can't say that, because I've been calling it like it is, but I'm happy these guys are starting to see a glimmer. I know it's early, very early. It's just one summer league game. You want to crown them? No. But, they're showing some signs, right? That, they're here and they're going to be staying for some years. They're showing signs. And I'm glad to see it because these guys have been working. Long ways to go. In the beginning, right? Beginning of a 1,000-mile journey begins with one step. I get you. But these young boys have been working. And that work is is looking like it's paid off. Looking like it's paid off. All right. Talking here, folks. 23 points, 7 to 12 shooting, 6 boards, 4 assists. Very efficient. You talk about 35 points, 12 for 21, shooting, above 50%. Very nice. 5 rebounds, no assists. Okay, no assists. So in terms of total offense, Boozer is 31 in total offense, 31 points of total offense on 12 shots. And Caleb is 35 points of total offense on 21 shots. So again, you can see here why, okay, and however you want to take this word, but folks have been saying Boozer analytically, he's very strong. You're looking at it right now. Generates 31 points of total offense on only 12 shots, along with 6 rebounds. All right, Caleb, balling, I got you. But he generates 35 points on 21 shots. It's 5 rebounds. Okay. These young boys ain't waiting. Shout out to At All Costs. Okay, documentary about the AAU process. Well done. Got a fly over here. It needs to keep it moving. Interfering with the program. I hope he just keeps it moving and grooving and does what he got to do. I hope I don't have to get my fly swatter out. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to do that, but I will. I want to have to. But this fly was, now he's on the screen. Okay. He violating right now. He's on the keyboard. You know what I mean? You violating, man. Take your game and go elsewhere. I know. If I gotta duck out of this screen and go get I don't want to do that. I'm one of these people. I don't know. Everybody's different. If I see a spider or whatever, I don't love spiders. I got a little bit of arachnophobia, but if it's if I can, I put the spider in a cup, enclose it in the cup, and then throw it out the door. Adios, DJ Jazzy Jeff style. Okay, but if it's too big, and that's one of the things I don't like the cold winters, but I like the fact that we don't got the the buck wild arachnophobia like that. If it's too big, then I got to get a shoe. I got to get the fly swatter, and I have to, I got to be, time hammer time. Okay, the stars of tomorrow. Doing their thing. Everybody's been birthdayed up. The later start. The East Coast is quiet. That's what it is. We into the late night hours. It's a beautiful thing. And how's everybody out there doing? Everybody's good? Very good. Very good. Let me just kind of get it organized here. Okay, we good on the IG. We good across the board. No yawning, SandCity Sports. Let me get that deep breath going on. And, because we got the Celtics could get to, and we got the stars of tomorrow to get to. Okay. Let me just take a second here and just think on this, ponder it. Did a lot. Okay. Let's keep it moving and grooving here, folks. Let's stay in the association. All right. So that was, right, a lot of the positive that we're seeing. A lot of the positives that we're seeing. Beautiful thing. Okay, no, it's not. I hit the wrong. I got the right screen. Good. She got the wrong screen. Let me just come back. No, I had the right screen. All right. So that was the positive, folks. Now we got to look at a little bit more challenging of a situation, right? Where folks aren't necessarily locked in. They're not all for one and one for all. Again, if you want to go forth with the cartoon shoes, hey, they say the most important season is the off season. These NBA players, they live nomadic lives, right? I don't know if we always factor that in. Flying to the East Coast, flying to the West Coast, Midwest, Deep South, Pacific Northwest. I mean, once the marathon begins, right? What does Big Ben say? In the air, everywhere. That's what your reality is. Okay, I bring that up to recognize, as somebody who is on vacation, that when you are hardworking, you'll say, oh, well, these guys make millions of dollars. And yeah, they do. Okay. They make a lot of money and they put the work in. All right, one of the things that we learn, amongst others, from The Sopranos, you're only as good as your last envelope. Period. I think something we say in officiating. You're only as good as your last whistle. Understand that. Oh, well, I did this championship game and I referee at this, level, and therefore you need to treat me. Okay, fine. But what have you done for me lately? You're talking all that talk. You have that on your resume, but right? Told you tonight we had a Robin Williams tribute show right in Hyannis Arts Hall. Very well done. And folks, somebody can have the resume, but what do I see? If you are the guy, don't tell me you're the guy. Show me you're the guy. Okay? And so that's the pressure that these superlative performers, if you will, folks that are at the top of their profession, literally, that's the pressure they live with. You're seeing, okay, I got this money and I got, but you don't wake up to the responsibilities that I have to get these 20 points every single night of this 82-game season. And then to raise that level in the playoffs. You don't feel that pressure. You're not in the arena as, I was going to say but I'm a Jag. I'm just a guy, as they are. Okay. I don't have to deal with that. Now, that is my rationale in terms of why anybody would ever walk out of the house looking like Tyler Hero looks. That's my only rationale. He's got a high pressure job. I don't know. It's the summertime, right? So I'm not excusing the cartoon shoes. Not excusing them. I'm just trying to understand. Right? It's summertime. I'm off. Coming in a new place, right? Coming back to Wisconsin, be loyal to the soil, lead this team. I've been hungering for this for a time. I think he's going to have a solid season, frankly, in terms of how the situation, because where I'm going with this, folks. This is the good part of it. The other side of it, as you and I both know, is that his former teammate, Bam Adebayo, hooked off on him. He hooked off on him, folks. Which to me is crazy. Out of left field, because they played formerly for an organization that's supposed to have the strongest culture in all of basketball. If not the strongest culture, top 3. Miami Heat, Pat Riley, no nonsense, no tanking. 2 NBA finals since they got rid of LeBron James. Went to the NBA finals as an 8th seed. They don't play that. And we just had a conversation about motor. All right? And about hunger and about consistency when we're talking about the rookies. And who's evidenced that and who is now starting to evidence that. But again, the Miami Heat on South Beach. All kinds of distractions. Are known for having an ironclad culture. Right? We say things like we above me. Okay? That's a nice phrase, platitude. The Heat are known to live that out. Okay? And by the way, saw an interview with Erik Spoelstra recently. You want to talk about a man who's walking the walk before he's talking the talk? Erik Spoelstra looks like he could play in the NBA today. This dude is jacked. Which is another point that brings up. We already talked about FIFA. Can you be fluffy and play in the World Cup? Is it just me, folks? Has anybody seen? All right, and I'm not speaking about anybody. I'm speaking about your boy. Your boy got a little fluffy. You know what I mean? I got to get my push-ups and sit-ups on. All right? It is what it is. No shame in my game. You understand? I got to get the push-up and the sit-ups going on. It's a new year, new me. That's what it is. But doggone it, FIFA, I have not seen one player who does not look like they're a bodybuilder. Can you play in the World Cup and not be a bodybuilder? Every single one of the players on the field, every single one of the players on the bench, the coaches, majority of them, they're all jacked. It's another reason I'm loving the World Cup, man. You want to be out here, then be out here. You don't even think twice about it. Yes. Guys look like they can win a decathlon or something. And kick a ball 100 yards with accuracy. Bananas. So Tyler Hero, you know what I mean? I'm not mad that he's feeling himself. Okay? He's got a significant other. Happy for you. Right? Stay together, grow it, develop it, right? But the bigger the beam. Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat. Folks, this kind of hurt my heart. But getting going beyond the veil, so to speak, to see, even in top flight organizations, cultures, people are still people, human beings, in community. right? What does familiarity breed? Contempt. Doesn't matter. And while this did, because we don't hear about, and these are 2 all-stars for the team as well. 2 leaders on the team. And they're out there beefing. That was right. It was surprising. It was revealing. Okay. I'm happy for Tyler Hero. Cartoon shoes. Hey. But I can excuse the cartoon shoes. He's on vacation, man. I'm happy for people that have worked hard. You've gone through the grind, and now you got the chance to floss a little bit, have a little bit of fun, kick back, get the rest and rejuvenation going on. Go ahead, man. I got no issues with none of that. That's where I'm at in my life right now. I'm not taking this for granted. 2:30 plus in the morning, Saturday into Sunday, summertime out here. Not taking none of this for granted, folks. Right? He's, flossing. I got a chance to floss a little bit. Okay? Right? And it's a beautiful thing. It's I just I'm not pleased, to say it clearly and just in no uncertain terms, that 2 guys that are in 2 guys that are in advantageous situations. That's Tyler Hero going back to Wisconsin to lead a team built around him. And we're hearing that, he and Bam, right? You know what I'm saying? We're hearing that he and Bam felt some type of a way about each other. All right. And before we get to he and Bam, right? Why I just did this, and it speaks, it ties into the situation with the Celtics. Celtics have some things going on that are similar to this. But I'm happy for Tyler in this moment, just like I'm happy for myself on vacation, doing my passion project on my own time. I know the East Coast folks are resting. Okay. But I'm doing my passion project. And I'm going to be doing it. I got another, I got a lot more to get to. So we're going to be here. I'm going to get a couple hours of sleep. I'm going to get up tomorrow, go on to service, got a referee, Cape League game. Yeah. Right. But I can do that because I did that for 180 school days. Okay. School, refereeing, civic meetings, grading, papers, writing, student reports, right? Get it, Saturday, my day, Sunday, I get up, got a couple errands. Next thing you know, I got to get up and do it again on Monday. Back to another grind, and you just make it day to day, week to week, and just try to make it through as best you can. All right. So Tyler's out here flossing. He's having a good time. I'm over here flossing, having a good time. Okay. All right. And it's earned. All right, folks. Yeah. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at here, folks? That's the Blizzard of 26 that you're looking at right there. That's a Blizzard of 26. Okay? Yeah. That's how high the snow was. That's my car. Folks. Right? 2 feet plus of snow. Frozen snow. Poured down on us here in Tourist Town. In other communities, New Beige, New Bedford, Fall River, they got close to 3 feet of snow. Folks. And, the first day, just so I could, right, because we lost power. Not just that we had, no, right, so, and we knew that we were going to get a storm. So we knew that we were going to have Monday at least off because of the storm. So Sunday, I'm doing, I'm watching the NFL, doing my episode, yada, yada, yada. I wake up on Monday, I'm like, dark in here. So no power. Folks, we didn't have power for 3.5 days. No power, no heat. 3.5 days. Okay, brick cold. All right, sitting in front of the doggone fireplace, trying to keep a fire going. Once you can get out of the house, trying to see if you can find firewood, which we couldn't. Come to find out, luckily, that there was firewood that was buried under the snow to bring inside. This was some old world stuff. Had to, clear the window off, had to shovel in so I could just get enough to open the door. Just get enough so I can open the door so I can turn the car on so the engine wouldn't freeze. Turn the car on so I could charge my phone. Can't charge it anywhere else. So the first day, just being locked inside, cleared the cars off. Right, you see, I cleared the, the roof and everything else, but just wild. Okay. So yeah, the blizzard of 26. February vacation was February vacation. Then we got to, all right, so we're going to get a day off, maybe 2 days, with the snow. All right, good. We was out a whole nother week. Had to open up one of the schools as a shelter because of so many power outages. All right. There was a time. It was, yeah, people coming together because we had to. Right? Friend in need, friend indeed, right? It was something. We made it some kind of a way again. 3 days, 3.5 days without power. Finally got power back Thursday afternoon. It's amazing, Wash my face. Freshen up. All that stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's the season, folks. All right, and Tyler Hero, we'll get him back on the screen. That's the season. You know, and you endure through that so you can enjoy the off season. Okay. I don't got an issue with Tyler Hero having a good time with his cartoon shoes. Right? I do have an issue, and I take umbrage. All right. I take umbrage. I take issue. I take issue with Tyler Hero, with these subliminals about Bam Adebayo leading up to the Giannis trade. What is that about? Okay. All right. Okay, the Middlesex Magic are playing well on the circuit. That's good to see. The Stars of tomorrow, they're okay. This is poor. I know. Just a couple clips that we're going to move to. Mm-hmm. All right, some good stuff. In the slice of life. Some good stuff. Okay. Folks, where is that coming from? Subliminals and bam this and bam that. The third seems completely out of character and speaks to, as I see, hold on, I got my gummies over here. So I got one or two left. No, this is a quick aside, but this is he's gonna get me through the end of this episode. Real quick. All right. I'm happy for Tyler Hero. Heading back to Wisconsin, loyal to the soil, to build them back up and be the A1 player. The subliminals with him and Bam, just like the subliminals with, Tatum or Jaylen Brown relative to Jason Tatum, is that Tyler would have preferred to stay in South Beach. Okay, but everybody can't stay if you're gonna get Giannis, right? As we go over here, right? Somebody's got to go. All right, and if you have to go, wouldn't you want to return to your home state where you're going to be the guy? All right, let me get a quick swig to get aid. All right. So I'm looking at the situation, that it's as good as, right? You're not going to get Giannis and not give up either of your all-stars, right? And if you're the all-star that has to go, Tyler Hero, you're from Wisconsin, so you know what it is to live in the frozen north, and they're building everything around you. So what are we doing? Right? I mean, did you want to go to a team where you have to come off the bench and uncertain roles, or you want to go to a team where you can set the deck? Didn't think that, it's just, I didn't think Tyler was the one to have subliminals about, be saying subliminals about somebody else. I didn't look at Bam as somebody that would take it to that level about his teammate. Look at them as two Heat guys, Heat culture. If we have these issues, we bring it to a third party, mediate it, get it done with, and get back to business. But, whether in a Pat Riley organization or organization with a first-year GM, you don't know. All right? All right. So that's where we're going to hold up. And we're going to do Slice of Life now. And then we're going to get on out of here. All right, we started by playing the hits. We can keep doing that. Gonna go over to the World Cup. Started talking about Erling, pride of Norway. All right, here we go. Player to leave the stadium. Stay till 9:30. Take photos with family and other fans. Hey, security is there. It's going to be respectful. Yeah, we're going to watch this again. Yep. That's even in defeat, class. Right? See if we have Sure we do. A bit more World Cup stuff. A lot of stars of tomorrow. A lot of the stars of tomorrow. I know I have another World Cup. I just got so much. I'm just going to have one World Cup clip. It'll take me a little while to find it. A lot of information. So we'll do one more World Cup clip. Let me use that. Yeah, okay, folks. And then we will all right, took some time, but I got it. Another Final Four team. Let's get the right link. There we go. España.
Run into the center. Here's Kubasi. Can hit one, Kubasi! Oh, he's spilled the keeper and then score! It's Mikel Merino, can you believe it? Off the bench to score again! And our Spain heading to the semi-final. Run into the center. Here's Kubasi. Can hit one, Kubasi! Oh, he's spilled the keeper and then score! It's Mikel Merino, can you believe it? Off the bench to score again! And our Spain heading to the semi-final.
Wow.
Come into the center. Here's Kubasi. Can hit one, Kubasi! Oh, he's spilled the keeper and then score! It's Mikel Merino, can you believe it? Off the bench to score again! And our Spain heading to the semi-final. Come into the
All right, World Cup. All right, let's look at the stars of tomorrow. Stars of tomorrow, folks. Talked about a few. Let's see another. Young Mr. Mikel Brown.
Brown, Johnson, Brown, Jones, nice play by Brown. Yep. Interrupted by Jones. Now intercepted the pick six for Brown.
It's possible, offensively and defensively, to allow players to get adjusted.
Brown, the deep three, it's ahead of the horn. It's good. Extra pass to Brown. It's a deep three. It's good. Counted on a foul. Comes away with the steal. Broadcasters jinxing on cue to the rim. Dishes it off inside. It's a big finish.
Screens. That takes a lot of energy.
It's another three.
I'm telling you.
20 for the youngster. Upperhouse. Clean look. It's good. 5:15 to play. Johnson.
And we can watch a little bit more.
Brown.
Young Mikel.
Jones. Nice play by Brown. Yep. Interrupted by Jones. Now intercepted the pick six for Brown.
It's possible, offensively and defensively, to allow players to get adjusted.
Brown, the deep three, it's ahead of the horn. It's good. Extra pass to Brown. It's a deep three. It's good. Counted on a foul. Comes away with the steal. Broadcaster's jinxing on cue to the rim. Dishes it off inside. It's a big finish.
Screens. That takes a lot of energy.
It's the 3. 20 for the youngster. Upperhouse. Clean look. It's good. 5:15 to play. Johnson.
20 points, rebound, couple assists, couple steals. 50% from 3. Looks like a play.
Won't have a voice by the end of the week, but
It's first practice when he was at UConn as a junior. But his
I know you have more on Terrence Reed.
Boston and getting Andre Drummond, they've got to take 1 or 2 roster spots.
Gillespie ends up with it. Bryant had 3 games in California as Bryant.
Won't have a voice by the end of the week, but
It's
first practice when he was at UConn as a junior. But his
I know you have more on Terrence Reed.
Boston and getting Andre Drummond, they've got to take 1 or 2 roster spots.
Gillespie ends up with it. Bryant had 3 games in California as Bryant.
Won't have a voice by the end of
All right. Carter Bryant, top 10 pick. Challenging to get minutes, but, wants to be 6-man next year. All right, as we said, folks, we got the stars of tomorrow, the rookies in Vegas. And then we have the next stars, the AJ DeBances of the future, playing at Pete's Jam. And in the Beauty Street Stripes. CP3 has a couple of 5 stars, right? Trash being tough doesn't impress me. The amount of energy per possession, right? Court is swarmed. AJ Williams, CJ Rossi. All right. Both these programs from North Carolina. Watch it again. So again, folks, we got stars everywhere. Current, ascending, soon to be. Right now, it's exciting time in the basketball calendar. So that was the AJ DeBanza heading back. Check out Pete's Jam. And now let's head over to the Under Armour circuit, where the Middlesex Magic, the Massachusetts team, on the Under Armour circuit.
There, and we're turning the corner right now. Yes, sir.
Defense gonna win the game for us, okay? Play defense, help each other, and fight together. Fight together.
Atlanta Express versus Middlesex Magic.
We're getting great shots. We're getting offensive routes. We're just a half a tick off. It's going to click.
We're not gonna get it out at one time. Don't try to get it out at one time. Play defense. Oh, we will be. School! Let's go!
Right? It's a competitive matchup. Friendly rivalries. Let's see. That's one player, one Magic player. Let's see if we got. Let's see what this is here. This is one particular player. I want to see if we got a game. And I know we do. And I'll finish here. With another angle on that battle, that U17 battle. That game by 8. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. Magic usually battle with Team Trill for the Under Armour title. Hey! Right? Stars of tomorrow. Battling it out. You know, and the energy, the society, the community, right? You love the fact that the stars who we know from the Commonwealth, now nationally, one Mr. A.J. DeBanza, Pride of Brockton, Massachusetts, okay? He takes the time. He's in Vegas for, or I believe they were in Indiana, for the Summer League, for his matchups, okay? And as soon as those matchups are done, what does he do? He returns to the stomping grounds, the training grounds, those formative years. He heads down to Pizza Jam to, to see the next one's up, and that, again, speaks to his mindset, which has developed his motor. Right? Mindset that has developed his motor. That's good. And I just want to briefly, just quick, check it out on Netflix, also on YouTube. Reference this a couple times. At All Costs. At All Costs is a documentary just about the modern grassroots world. This doc came out before the NIL revolution, but certainly included the frameworks that At All Costs. Check it out. Netflix, YouTube. I first saw it on Netflix. It's well done. Again, it's not Hoop Dreams. Hoop Dreams is a 2-3 hour journey, right? It's a documentary, beginning to end. At All Costs, just gives you, more of just a feature film, hour and 30, 45 minutes, whatever the case may be. But it just looks at the journey. So, Summer League, we have talented draft class showing well very early on. Beautiful thing. We have the free agency landscape playing out there as well. Those stars also at these Summer League games. Love to see it, to support the younger players. And then some of the things that have boiled over in terms of changing face of the NBA. These guys are human. These guys, these things that matter. They're not robots. When they have to leave places, it's challenging, it's difficult, so on and forth. They feel it. They're going through it. And the preps. And shout out to all the young people that are hooping right now. Whether you're on a sneaker circuit or not, it doesn't matter. As I reminded folks, Chef Curry, not ranked, was not a, prize recruit, and changed the game of basketball. Okay, so wherever you're at, whatever the tournament, it's a sacrifice, it's a challenge. You're on the road, but you're getting that experience, right? Again, back to Tyler Hero and his cartoon shoes. Okay, once you get there, you never leave the road. So it's training you, it's preparing you for the lifestyle that you're going to have to adapt to and find success in to pursue your hoop dreams. What's going on here, folks? Is your boy gonna get his mind right? I'm gonna have the outro. SandCity, go! I'm the Project, on his island, Rave.